Hello, welcome. It's so good to have you here and so good to be back with another video. In this video, I'll be sharing my long overdue thoughts on FUNKE AKINDELE'S highest grossing Nollywood release, Behind the Scenes. I'm Ola Jola, singer, songwriter based in Lagos, Nigeria, and my last few videos have been a mix of pageant commentary, music industry commentary, and a book review somewhere in there. And as such, this is another first. But before I go on, I must first thank you for clicking on this video and spending the next few minutes with me. I do not take it for granted. I'm thankful for your likes, your views, your comments on my last few videos. Thank you so much. I'm particularly grateful because your kindness lets YouTube know that something good and valuable is happening here. Also, thank you for subscribing. It ensures that you do not miss out on any of my future updates. Behind the Scenes is Nigerian filmmaker Funke Akindele's third consecutive record-breaking end-of-year cinema release. It was released in December 2025 in cinemas and in April 2026 on streaming platforms. This movie has been part of a lot of conversations both on and off social media, including positive and negative review and various think pieces like this very one. For me, it was a healthy mix. The story had dramatic elements to it, but its core themes were apt and timeless: entitlement, family tension, loyalty, betrayal, and even growth. A solid takeaway for me was the need to balance benevolence with boundaries built with self-love and awareness. The cinematography was beautiful. I loved the special effects and some of the acting. I particularly loved how the plot thickened suddenly. Like one scene we're having business as usual, of course, with a couple of hurdles here and there, then suddenly life and death. I love that. Ronke and Victor's friendship was so beautiful to watch. For me, when I first saw them, I was already expecting it to segue into romance somewhere, and I hate that I was. But I love how intentionally and unintentionally the movie was able to give us a healthy example of a platonic relationship between a man and a woman. There was vulnerability and trust there, but there were still healthy, clear boundaries. Loved it. When I first saw clips of Adetutu on social media, I wondered whether the character needed that much energy and drama, but in context, apt delivery from Funke Akindele, and expected as the veteran that she is, Adetutu was as entitled, annoying, and self-indulgent as she needed to be for her role in his story. Next to her in annoyingness, her twins, Wani and Hadi, delivered. Oluchi and Johnson, their love was so pure and beautiful. Props to the actors Destiny Etiko and Mr. Macaroni. The unique quality of having to hide their love, that's something a lot of couples battle with for many different reasons. And I can imagine how painful and sad it must be to not be able to be 100% honest and open about a relationship that adds shimmer to your lived experience. I also enjoyed experiencing their take on devotion and loyalty. Before I go on, I have a special message for a special demographic. If you're Nigerian watching this and you're eligible to vote, that is, you're over 18, this is for you. Where we are presently as a nation, you don't have to be an active news watcher to know that a lot is going on. We're hearing it, we're seeing it, we're feeling it. The general elections will be happening in 2027, just a couple of months away from now, and it's becoming more obvious that we need to be more intentional and more serious about deciding who leads us for the next 4 years. Whether or not you want this present administration to continue, let your votes speak. The plan: first, get your PVCs ready. You don't have one, you've never had one, you lost the last one. Visit cvr.inecnigeria.org to get started and book a capturing appointment. Keep and/or photocopy the slip that will be given to you after your capturing appointment, and be on the lookout for when it's time to pick your PVCs up. The final stage of registration is ongoing at the moment and will be ending on July 10th, 2026. Next, research. The number of offices we each have to vote for is not up to 10. For each of these offices, look into who the candidates are. Do they have a documented history of competence? Are they people who foster unity? Do any scandals or allegations come up with their names? What's the context and credibility of these allegations and scandals, etc.? Take your focus away from removing any one person from power, and across the board, look towards putting empathetic and competent people who are sensitive to our individual and collective lived experience in power instead. Finally, plan to vote and vote. In 2023, we had only a 26.72% voter turnout. That's a fail in any scoring system out of 100%. Ignore the they will rig it statements. While we can and we should hold the government accountable for not doing enough, in our own way. Let's do as much as we can. Let's vote and protect our votes. Thank you. Adewale's character arc was hands down my favorite in the entire movie. He was a mess for the beginning half of the movie, and that took me on multiple journeys. For example, like how I feel like he was what people would call a problem child. You know, those children who give their parents such a hard time, always getting into trouble. And I feel like for those children, theirs can be such a painful and tedious experience. Earlier than they can understand, they cause the people who should love and protect them so much pain, and they get this pain back in many different forms: physical, verbal, and emotional abuse. I'm convinced that the result of this is often a case of or a cycle of them not knowing how to do life other than hurting these people who love them and who they love, while actively still expecting love, care, and validation from those same people. It is my belief that in these situations, there's always a better way that things could have been handled a lot earlier. They are judged, have insults hurled at them, and I think it's likely that at the start, sometimes they actually made a mistake that they were right to make out of ignorance. I think realizing that and teaching and emphasizing the importance of decision making skills is a better alternative than making the child feel like there's something wrong with them or that they are all that's wrong with the world. It does something to you when you keep hearing that from someone who should protect and love you over time. Adewale finding a life partner in Segilola was also fitting. Two broken people giving each other what they need. Segilola validates Adewale by making him feel like he's doing good in the world and worthy of affection and attention. And he provides her endless needs and bows to her every wish, even if it means dragging his reputation through the mud. Made so much sense. Honestly, I love what grief did to him. It was so beautiful to see how quickly his eyes opened. I think in the growth department, among all the characters, he saw one of the biggest gains, probably the biggest. That was just such a beautiful outcome for a problem child. The movie touched on a lot of societal issues. We saw land tussle, bribery and corruption, inheritance and family issues, post death, a widow's loneliness and fatigue, jealousy and transactional, friendship, and lupus awareness. Very valuable and beautiful conversation starters. The makeup and special effects department did a really good job. They deserve their flowers, so I'm giving them to them. What didn't I like, or didn't I really like, or did I feel could have been done a little differently? Well, I saw a lot of reviews saying the story felt rushed, and I kind of agree. I feel like there's a lot more that could have been shown and a lot more ways in which suspense could have been applied if it was a series or a mini series compared to a movie. Regardless, it was a good one. I also saw some criticisms about the depiction of legal practice regarding the reading of wills in Nigeria. Apparently, in Nigerian law, wills are not read at home as we see depicted in movies a lot of times. I think this brings to mind conversations about due diligence when it comes to books and movies. However, since it's fiction, I feel like on some level it works and passes. But ultimately, it's always better to represent cultures, concepts, and professionals as close to reality as is possible. In contrast, there was praise from the medical community about how lupus was depicted and described. I think this is in tandem with the director Funke Akindele's work to raise awareness about lupus and discourage stigma. It was a beautiful watch for me. I do not regret the time spent at all. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me, spending all this time. I do not take it for granted. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments. Please leave them down below in the comments section. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It ensures that you do not miss out on any of my future updates. Till next time, see you soon. Be safe.